Good evening everyone and welcome to the 6th round of Division 2 Season 12 at the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix. My name is Xfelix1. I'm back after having missed the race last week. Was of course replaced by Nemesis, who will then hopefully be joining me from next week onward, so we should then have a two-man commentary team for the Austrian Grand Prix and the rest of the season as well, hopefully. But hopefully another exciting race in store for us today, the Brazilian Grand Prix. I would say it delivered quite well. I watched the replay afterwards, and I would say I did enjoy the race. A few results changed from that race. Marco got a 5-second penalty which dropped him to P4. That meant that Kucho was given the podium, the P3, and of course also the points for it. And Edwin got a 10-second time penalty, I believe for using Reset the Track. Or was that someone else? I don't know, but he got a 10-second time penalty. And that dropped him to P6, which moved Kevin up to P5. But that is the Stewart Supports news from last week's race. Clean slate for today, everyone. Back on zero. No penalties, of course. No qualifying bans either for tonight. Everyone able to compete normally. Got a, I believe, one new driver. Official JE, who is taking over the Alfa Romeo seat. He's a main driver in the league now. Joined today, actually, I believe. So, joined pretty late. Probably didn't have all that much practice time. So we'll see how he gets on today. Another new name, actually. Well, he is not really new. He's been in the league for a few weeks, but hasn't raced up until now. He's a reserve driver. EKA C7, or EK? EK? Well, whatever. However we pronounce it. Elias, I believe, is his Discord name. So we'll go with that. We'll go with Elias. That's easier to pronounce for me. Oh, well, I'm sure the pronunciation isn't difficult of EKA, I just don't know which way it is, so I'll stick to Elias. The first driver starting a lap is the Williams of Ewek, who is finally back after a few weeks that he hasn't been able to race now because of wheel issues. I believe his pedals have been broken, so he's finally got that fixed and he's back just at the halfway point in the season for the Chinese Grand Prix, and I'm sure he's delighted to be back at such a beautiful racetrack that we all very much enjoy driving around. But I'm expecting the top guys to be doing like a mid-31, low-31 in qualifying. China tends to be a track where some people really struggle, some people really excel. It's it's a very rarely used track in league racing, so I think most people will not have much experience on this track. Ewek bottoms out over the curb, exiting turn 10. So this might be seeing some surprises today in the running order. Some people might be further up the field or down the field than they would be usually. 17 car grid as well, so a pretty well-filled grid, especially compared to Division 1, where we only had 10 drivers, unfortunately. A lot of people apparently being busy this week, but Division 2 looking a lot better. As Ewek brakes just before the 100-meter board for the hairpin, the second to last corner of the lap, and down towards the final corner, turn 16. Really tricky corner to get right. You have to, just clip the apex curb. You bottom out over the curb on the exit save, try and avoid it. Ewek didn't, and puts in a 33.811, which I think is actually comparable to the times we had in Division 1. But there we go, a 31.6 from JM. Division 1 had a very interesting qualifying session where it went. We were running on dry tires, but it was raining already, so we had a damp track. So I think we'll be seeing the fastest time of the Chinese Grand Prix. But we already have JM has gone faster than anyone did in Division 1 with that 31.6. And at the moment, 3.5 tenths, close to 4 tenths actually faster than Gabri in second place. Marco in third on a 32.1. We've got a car approaching line. It's official on his first official qualifying lap in Division 2. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that name. 32.202 into 4th position. Pretty far up the grid there already. Good start to him. Good start for him, sorry. Poggio invalidating his run. Behind him is the Haas of Sully. And from what I know, unless his opinion has changed, I know he really liked China the last few years. We'll see if it's a good track for him this year, as he goes over the line, a 32.332 into 6th position. 10 laps complete so far. Kucho with a 35.0, I think certainly he'll be able to improve a good amount. That does not seem like a lap that Kucho would be happy with. I mean, he's currently, I believe, tied in the standings with Poggio for 4th place. Let me check that. Yes, both Poggio and Kucho are on 43 points, 23 points behind behind Sean, sorry, who is currently leading the standings with 66 points. So they are just about within range of Sean, should Sean score no points and they score a win. We've got Sean Moole here approaching the hairpin, approaching the final 2 corners of the lap. I believe he is the one close to finishing one. There's a Red Bull all the way off in the runoff zone there. Who's that? Is that Edwin? Yeah, he must have gone very, very deep there. Not sure if that was on purpose. But Sean Moore around the final corner, goes a bit wide, but doesn't get invalidated. The game doesn't get away with it. And he gets a 32.465 into 7th position for now. JM's 31.6 still. Looking strong, nobody able to beat it. Poggio almost running out of ERS here down towards the hairpin. So that would have certainly cost him a good amount of time going over that straight. Being low on ERS, you lose so much time on the straights as Desi has disconnected. I have to re-invite him in a moment. We'll just watch Poggio finish this lap. It's a 32.151 despite the low ERS and the used tires as well. I believe he had a lap just before this was invalidated. So Poggio looking really strong, and I think a fresh set of tires and having some actual ERS to play with could turn him into a contender for pole position tonight. Right, now I'm gonna invite Desi back in. Hopefully he is still showing online. There we go. Game invite sent. I see an Aston Martin approaching the end of the lap, but that's Owais who is down by 3 seconds, so... And Derek Kucho, purple in the middle sector. Can I see a delta? I'm trying to switch back and forth to get it. No, game isn't showing me a delta. Well, we'll just have to wait and see then. Currently a 35.067, he is P12. 1.2 seconds off from Ewek. 2.2 seconds off from Owais. And 3.4 seconds off of JM. As he also runs out of ERS here. Going into the hairpin. Gets the tire over the curb and the car just steps out on him. But through the final corner, down to 4th gear. Doesn't bottom out over the curb on the exit and puts in a 32.515, a 2.5 second gain, and that brings him all the way up into P9. Kevin on his first lap is invalidated, so he'll have to try again. So now he's gonna stay in P17. See a AlphaTauri approaching the line, but that's Elias who is on his way back in the pit lane. Next car behind him is Poggio, I believe, who is on a slow lap, and then Kevin on the invalidated lap. So is anyone on a hot lap right now? I don't actually... Maybe Owais? I think he has started one now. He wasn't on a fast lap last lap, so... Yeah, there you go. It's up by 3/10. And that would mean that he's beating Elias and maybe Kucho as well. Depending on how he does in the final sector, he can move up a bit further, lose time. Both is a possibility. Of course, he'll be hoping to gain as much time as possible. It's a pretty close midfield there from Kucho to, I would say, official. Like 0.2 to 0.5, from P5 to P9. 3/10 in it. And I think that would be the sort of area that Owais is going to slot into as well here. As he goes around the final corner. Has he gained more time from the final sector? It's a 32.494 into P9. He beats Kucho, but he's very close to Sean Moole there. 4.64 for Sean Moole, 4.94 for Owais. As Kucho, he's down by a second, so he's probably going to go back to the pit lane here. Both JM and Marco are on laps again. And they are pretty close, yeah, JM is pretty close behind the Mercedes actually, so he has to hope that Marco is fast enough to avoid JM running into the back of him. Marco's previous best, a 32.1, he's in 3rd place. And gains close to 2/10 in the first sector. Meanwhile, JM gains close to half a tenth in the first sector, but his previous best, a 31.6, is 5/10 faster than Marco's. So Marco will have to gain a lot of time if he wants to contest for pole position here. Right now, JM is in a world of his own. Marco with a bit of a slide coming out of turn 8, but he gets it corrected. Really aggressive on the throttle. Out of turn 10, of course, as early as possible on the power. You gain so much time there. 3.5 tenths up for Marco. A very good lap so far. JM down by 1.5 tenths. Can't seem to improve on that 31.6 he did previously. What about Marco though? We saw him gaining a lot of time. Can he challenge for pole position here? He's certainly on his way to beating Gabri, but Gabri himself is up by 4 tenths in the first sector. What? Is that correct? Gabri is absolutely flying right now. We'll see what he does in the middle sector. Keep an eye on Marco, so we don't miss him crossing the line. Gabri is up by 5.5 tenths in the middle sector. Gabri is on a completely perfect lap, it seems. As Marco goes to the final corner, a bit of a slide again on the power, but over the lines at 31.844 into second place. JM back to the pit lane, but Gabri, we could be seeing a new fast lap as Pinky jumps into third place, a 32.022. 6.5 minutes to go, so one more lap for everyone at least, maybe two. Gabri, bit of a slide coming out the hairpin, not ideal, but the lap was so strong in the first and second sector that it should not matter. I think he will still be on for pole position here as it comes around the final corner, a 31.379, 6.5 tenths gained, and beats JM by a whole 3 tenths as Official goes second place as well, 31.622 beating JM. So the time's coming in very quickly now. JM being punished for that mistake he made on his lap, dropping down from first to third already. As Sully goes around the final corner, don't know what he's been doing in the first and middle sector. We'll see in just a moment if he's doing well. Gains 83 thousandths, gains 1 place to Edwin, who himself is coming up to line, so he might gain that place right back. But that didn't look ideal at all around the hairpin. That has lost him a lot of time, and I think he's pitting. Yes, he is, not finishing the lap. We'll instead watch the AlphaTauri behind him. Elias starting it up. Okay, we won't watch him. Pinky, he just finished the lap. Kucho is on an out lap. The Mercedes, Ludwig Pocho, up by a tenth in the first sector, but it isn't the Mercedes. I'm looking for someone who's about to cross the line. I believe the closest one might even be the Alfa Romeo Official, who's down on his time. Mihai, I think, is... Yeah, Mihai might be the furthest along the track on a hot lap right now. Actually, I think it's Pocho. Well, we'll just stay with Pocho at this point. 37 thousandths gained in the middle sector. Not a great amount of lap time gained, but we saw him being low on his ERS at the end of the straight on his last lap. So I think now is where he's going to gain all the time. On this straight, with your ERS being activated rather than the last lap where he ran out, he should be gaining a few tenths here, and that could catapult him up into the top 4, top 3, maybe even close to BS Gabri, but I don't think it'll be that much of a time gain if he didn't gain the first and middle sector. He has a Ferrari up ahead of him, who gets out of his way nicely. And Pocho goes around the final corner, and over the line it's a 31.682. 4th place, but look at the gap to JM, that is so close. Right, I'm gonna try and invite Desi again. I did send one earlier, but apparently he didn't get it. Right, sent one again. And he's back in. Meanwhile, Kevin went 8th place, a 32.252. He's beaten Sean Moore, the two title contenders right now in 8th and 10th. Unusually low positions in qualifying for them. Mihai 34.2 into last place. Elias, I believe, just finished a lap, a 32.684 into 13th. Kucho starting a lap as well now. Marsilio back in the pit lane there. The Mercedes of Pocho not doing another run. Mihai in the Alfa Romeo, I think, also not on a push lap, so I think the only one to watch right now is the Clown of Kucho. There we go. Found him again. But now I missed his first sector. Wait, I'll just do this. A 24.052, but he's been doing a lot of laps right now. The 5th lap already. Has he been doing like long run practice? What has he been doing? From what I saw behind the pause screen, this didn't look like a clean lap in the slightest. We'll see as he goes over the sector 2 line, down by 5/10, and I think he's just abandoned the lap as well. Don't have all that much time left to go, 3 minutes. So, one more run for everyone. That's the only chance they're gonna get now. And that 31.3 from Gabri is looking pretty damn safe, considering the gap he has to P2, 3 and 4. But official JM and Pocho are so close together. Marco isn't far off either, I wouldn't count him out for the front row. And maybe someone else can throw in a surprise as well. Edwin is currently going through the snail corners, turns 1 to 4. He's up by 3/10 in the first sector, a massive improvement already. And if he can keep this going, he might get in the 31s here, might contest for a top 5 starting position. Marco's 31.8 to beat for that top 5 I just talked about. With a 3/10 gain, he would be on for a 31.9, so he needs to gain a bit more for sector 2 and 3 as well. But this looked pretty good in the middle sector. We'll see what he's done in just a moment. He's up by a full 5/10. Edwin is on a very strong lap right now. And only one sector to go now as he goes up to this very long straight. He has to get a good exit. DRS open in, well, a few hundred meters. The DRS opens quite late on the straight. Probably to avoid just easy flybys, but yeah, there we go. Edwin into the hairpin, braking just before the 100 meter board. Has to correct on entry, I think turned in a bit too early. Was scared he'd jump all over the apex curb, but into the final corner. What is it going to be? Has he done enough to get himself far up the field here? It looked very good in the first and second sector, and in the end, it's a 31.888 into P6 for Edwin. So he lost a bit of time in the final sector, unfortunately for him. Meanwhile, Marco down by a 10th in the first sector. Not a good start to his lap. What about Sean Mull? Down by 1.5 tenths in the first sector. Also not a good start to his lap. We've got Desi, I think, who is closest to finishing a lap in the Aston Martin. This will be his first and only lap of the session, but he's actually not using ERS right now. As Edwin now retires from the session. No one near him though, so shouldn't be a problem. Ewek up by 2.5 tenths in the first sector. Marcelio starting his run as well now. We'll see Sean Mull in the middle sector. What is he doing? Is he up? 1.5 tenths, but not a massive improvement for Sean Mull. This is not gonna get him anywhere near the front. And the front is where he needs to be, really. For his title fight against Kevin and, well, quite a few drivers actually. JM, Kucho and Pocho all well within range. And quite a few other drivers not all that far outside the 25-point cutoff to be in contention of taking the lead of the championship within the next race. Marco coming in the final corner as Kucho retires from the session. Where's Marco gonna go here? A 31.791 gains a small amount, but stays in P5. Pinky up by a 10th in the first sector. Gabri is not going to do a lap. Pinky's up by 4.5 tenths after middle sector. He is flying. Might contest for P2 or even P1 if he gains more in the final sector. Pocho down by 1,000 in the first sector. But the margins between official and JM and Pocho are so tight here. JM down by 21,000. What about official in the second sector? Is he down or up? Down by 67,000. Lap is not over yet though. You can still gain that back. But Pinky, he is on an absolute flyer right now. If you can just nail this final sector, Shawmuel in P8. Not going to be doing another lap. Pinky around the final corner. How far up the grid can he go? Diaz open for the McLaren driver over the line. A 31.797 into P6. 1,000 behind Marco. Pocho up by 1.5 tenths. Official and JM coming up to the line here. JM does improve to a 31.408. Pretty close to Gabri actually in the end. Not quite. Sully jumping into 4th place. 31.627. Official into the pit lane. Pocho, the last of the front runners. Kevin is well still on lap. As he goes over the line, jumps into 6th, 31.703, but Pocho in 5th place right now, 31.682. Can he improve? Can he go further up the field? 31.426 into 3rd place. And it got pretty close to Gabri in the end, but he held down to pole position. Gabri in the Ferrari on pole position here in China, a 31.379, followed by JM in 2nd place, Pocho in 3rd. And the gap between those top 3 Less than half a tenth separating Gabi, JM and Pocho. Official in 4th with a 31.622. A very good qualifying and debut. Only 5 thousandths of a second ahead of Sully with a 31.627 in 5th. Kevin a 31.703 in P6, and then Marco with a 31.791 in 7th, followed by Pinky exactly 1,000 behind. Yeah, such a tiny margin separating those two. And that was the top 8. We'll go through the rest of the qualifying order in just a moment once we get the results screen. But a very exciting qualifying for the Chinese Grand Prix, and a good sign for the race, I would say. Edwin qualified with a 31.888 in P9, followed by Shomul rounding out the top 10, the first driver outside the 131s, a 32.031 in P10. Then Owais with a 32.445 in P11, Kutro in 12th with a 31.515. Elias in 13th, a 32.684. Marcelio with a 33.008 in 14th. Ewek in 15th with a 33.508. And Mihai in 16th, 34.209, and Desi in the end, after only having done the one lap, in last place, 34.452. Yeah, a very close qualifying, especially at the front. I mean, look at those gaps, just over 4:10 separating the top 8. I think we are in for a very exciting race at the Shanghai International Circuit. And there we go, sunny skies. Very likely that the rain will be completely dry. I'm expecting a medium hard or hard medium strategy, probably about 14 laps on mediums, 15 on hards. That doesn't add up, that's one lap too many. Make it 13 on mediums, 15 on hards, 12 on mediums, 16 on hards, something like that. We'll see what the drivers decide to go for. Maybe someone is gonna risk it, go for a medium soft, but I don't know if the mediums can last long enough, or the softs, both of them, don't last all that long around here. The tires get, especially the front tires, get worn out quite a lot with that very long. Yeah, well, I said that, but there's so many long corners. Turns 1, 2, 3, and 4. The snaky section to start, 7 and 8. The little S section in the middle sector, 9 and 10 right after as well. The double lefts. The very long corner for the long straight, it's 12 and 13. So tough on the tires. So, well, the one stop definitely still the way to go, but likely a medium hard for most. But there we go, we're on the grid, down the strategy chalk. We focus on the racing for now. The 5 red lights are on. We're ready for the race start. The 5 red lights are out for me, but not for the drivers just yet. Hopefully they'll be out in a moment. There we go, the drivers are gone, and Gabi getting away decently, but I think JM is pulled alongside and actually ahead. Going turn 1, JM is fully ahead on the inside line, takes the lead. Pocho dives in against Gabi, who starts in the hard, so he's immediately gonna drop back here. Official trying to move past as well for P3 there. Gabi with an awful start, but Gabi does hang on to that P3 as Sully slips by Official, who now has to defend from Kevin as well. Then, meanwhile, Pinky trying to move up the field, fighting Kevin for that 6th position. Marco sitting right behind. And Kutro goes a bit deep there, but he just about gets the car slowed down. Still in next contact with Sean Moore. Meanwhile at the front, JM followed by Pocho really closely. And I think those two are about to battle over the race lead, coming out to the long straight. Mia on the soft tires is going to try and make up places early on here. JM covers the inside down to turn 9. Pocho having a little look at the switchback maybe. But JM goes very wide coming out of turn 10, sorry. And Pocho sends him up the inside and takes lead of the race, gets the car stopped just in time. A very nice move by Pocho, but now JM will have to slipstream down the straight and maybe has a chance to fight back against the Mercedes driver down at the hairpin. Pocho is moving all to the inside line, you can see the entire train moving with him. It's like a game of Snake, they're all following each other, trying to stay in their slipstream. It's so crucial, the entire field so close together here. And now you see a few cars pulling out to make those moves. But Pocho at the front is safe, we've got 3 wide. There in the background, that's Pinky, Marco and Shomul into the hairpin. Pinky gets pushed off slightly, but stays alongside, actually ahead of Marco. Shomul had to back out, Marco trying to hang around the inside into the final corner, but no chance of course through there. He once again having a look at the front, but Pocho still safely in P1, JM following closely. Pinky and Marco battle into turn 1, terrible camera angle there for viewing a battle. But in the end it's Pinky who comes out on top. At least for now, but I think this battle is far from over, seeing as how Marco and Pinky have been battling earlier. As everyone is Desi fight over P12 here. Desi with a decent start, having started in last place, now fighting for 12th. But he does have to give that position up. Edwin moving up closer to the points tank positions. And with Mihai ahead on the softs, it's likely that his tires will drop off. As EK gets past. Oh, is there actually a little battle with Ewag as well? 3-wide battle down in the middle sector. And it's Ewag who comes on top. Oh, is trying to fight back though, around the outside. But that's a very difficult corner to try and hang the car all the way around the outside. He's still trying it though. But with no success. And actually Elias now sees the gap. Sends him up the inside. Very opportunistic move, and in the end can't quite get it done. Doesn't have the momentum to move past Marcelio. Yeah, sees an opportunity as well. There is scraps going on all over the field. We'll have another look at the position changes in these early stages. As Kucho and Mihai battle over P10, Kucho moving past the Alfa Romeo, once again back in the front as JM is closing in on Pocho, and JM, I think, is about to go for the lead here. Down to the happen, has to brake early, and can't actually quite get it done, but he's staying somewhat in that gap. Doesn't quite commit to it though, and Pocho has stayed ahead for a little bit longer, but the DRS is about to be activated. From next lap on, he will be vulnerable. JM goes wide through the final corner. And now is very much vulnerable to Sully, who's trying to go around the outside into turn 1. Does he have the momentum? The Haas driver, yes, he goes clean around the outside of JM. And Sully up into second place, and now is going to start chasing after Pocho for the race lead. Gabi, meanwhile, doing what he needs to do on those hard tires, staying in the terrain, sitting in 4th place. Very well within reach, and once the tire advantage goes in his favor, once the pit stop phase comes in, he pits for mediums, the race will come to him. These guys are battling amongst each other, and that's absolutely perfect for Gabri. They can't pull away from him while they battle. You saw JM just tapping that curb there. I think he lost a bit of time, but he did catch the car again, so I think he is fine. The leaders have settled down a bit now. Not as much movement going on anymore. So yeah, we seem to have settled down into a bit of an order for now at least, but I'm sure there will still be more overtakes and battles going on. I see Kucho quite close to Sean Mulder in the fight for P9. But right now a DRS train all the way from P1 to P11. And then Mihai not far behind either. And there we go, I think Sully's about to go for the lead here. Pocho, of course, the only car in this train not having DRS. And he might even get passed by JM, just about avoids it. Official gets past Gabri. And Gabri now under pressure from his teammate Kevin. We might be seeing some Ferrari team orders. Kevin on the medium tires does have the fastest tire right now. So it would only make sense to let him go maybe. As Desi has a spin at the hairpin. I think Mihai was involved as well. And Desi drops down in last place, a P16 and 17 for Aston Martin right now. Although Mihai is now into the pit lane, so he'll drop to the last place. A nightmare race for Aston Martin. So far at least, but it's very early stages. One safety car can absolutely change everything. Even without a safety car, I think points can still be on in this Grand Prix. A bit of a gap separating being created in the train now. Marco not quite able to stay with Pinky at the moment. So the top 7 have pulled away from the rest of the field. Meanwhile, Kucho is all over the back of Sean Mull here. Wants to get past the Williams. Both in the title fight right now. And, I mean, you'd have to say, right now, the only driver who is really, I mean, like, properly in title fight is JM, who's doing well. He's in 3rd place, 13 points behind Sean Mull, who is sitting in 9th. Kevin in 6th, scoring a few points as well right now. But I'm sure he's going to try and move up as well a bit more. And there we go, he goes clean around the outside of Gabri. Gets onto the curb a little bit. And I think that's killed his momentum. Official dropping out of the the top 3. Pinky might try and follow past Kevin, but he doesn't quite see an opportunity to do so. As Sean Mull flies past Marco, up into 8th place. The championship leader trying to move through the field, connect the trains once again, get up to the back of the leaders. As Marco is practically pushing him out of the hairpin. But he has to break out into the final corner. Marco into the pits! On lap 5, and he's crashing. What is Marco doing? What is this? He's back onto the racetrack and he's left the session! What? That was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. As Gabi's in the drop behind Pinky, there was a bit of ghosting going on there. What just happened to Marco here? He went into the pits, and then he just skied into the pit wall, left the session, and well, now he's dropped down to 16th. Mihai is left as well. Oh, please don't tell me there's issues with with the servers or anything. Alright, I'm gonna send another invite to Mihai and Marco. Hopefully I can do that quickly. There we go, Marco. And where's Mihai? He should be next to Marco. This is supposed to be alphabetically sorted, but there we go. It isn't for some reason. Right, back to the action at hand. Pocho following Sully closely in the fight for the race win as Kucher moves past Sharmul. I think we saw this earlier already, so Sharmul must have moved back past him. The top three have now gotten away from the rest of the field. Official not quite in DRS range, but still within range. So nothing is lost yet. Gabi down to P7, not ideal for him. Lead, fight for lead, Pocho and Sully I think set aside into turn 1. Pocho did come out on top again, so he held on to the lead. But Sully must have had a little look at him. He's seeing his opportunity. Sully and Pocho, Mercedes versus Haas. Not a fight you see all that often in real Formula 1. That's the beauty of league racing. Equal cars means absolutely everyone has a chance to win. And JM following these two very closely. He has saved a lot more ES than them as well. They're both on 30, he's on 78. So JM quietly, just saving ES, saving tires. He is ready to take the opportunity, go into the lead and try and build out a gap to these guys. Pinky and Kevin really close together here down to the into the left, right, and then onto the long straight. Kevin a bit low on ES, I believe. Yes, so he is vulnerable to an attack from Pinky. Sully has stopped outside with the ES to Pocho. JM's gonna go past him, use the ES, and then probably... Although Sully has held on to the ES barely, he was outside 1 second, but still JM up into second place. Meanwhile, Pinky and Kevin side by side. Kevin has a break early as he's boxed in behind the Alfa Romeo of Official. And Pinky on the inside line gets a bit out of shape, coming out the hairpin. Kevin on the inside now into the final corner. They're still side by side, but Pinky moves ahead of the Ferrari and he's taken 5th position in this race. And Mighty immediately trying to get Official as well. I think he's too far behind on this straight. He has to wait for the end of the lap. But JM is closing up to Pocho once again. Pocho had a once again gap starting the straight to Sully. And now JM is all over the back of the Mercedes driver. So these three are gonna be giving it absolutely hell. Absolutely everything. Only lap 7 of this race. As Pinky has moved past Official coming out of turn 4. How's that happened then? Very interesting spot to make an overtake. So has Official made a mistake or has Pinky just pulled off something magical that I missed? Either way, Pinky up into 4th. For now at least. The DRS zone is coming up and I would say it's not unlikely that Official flies right back past McLaren. We all know how OP the DRS is on this game. I think they've definitely overdone a bit with the effect of DRS. Especially if you have a straight as long as China's. It's such a long straight, there's so much time to be gained with the DRS open. Slipstream as well, pretty strong in this game. And in combination it just makes such a massive lap time gain. JM, bit out of shape, coming out of turn 11. Turn 13, sorry, I keep hitting the corner numbers wrong. And Sony is pulled alongside. But JM in the slipstream of Pocho ahead, does pull ahead into the hairpin ever so slightly. Yellow flag coming out of turn 13. Sony on the inside line of JM. Takes P2 again, back once again. And those yellow flags were for Owise, who's going very slowly out of that corner now. And being caught by his teammate. JM almost running into the back of Sully, but he was able to avoid it. Gabi moving back past his teammate Kevin for P6. Ferrari swapping for the 2nd time in this race. And Official all over the back of Pinky here. They do see the top 3 in the distance, 1.5 seconds away. Pinky is just outside the DRS range. Needs to hope that those guys battle a bit more. But as long as he doesn't have DRS, he will be vulnerable to Official re-overtaking him. We are getting close to the pit stop phase as well now. I think you could even go pit for Hearts now, go to the end, but it's a very early pit stop. You'll be getting a good undercut. but then you would lose time throughout the rest of the race. Probably too early to think about it just yet, but we are a million miles away from the pit stop phase. Of course, Gabri, he's gonna have to go long, so he will get undercut by all of these guys, but then throughout the rest of the race he should be gaining time once he pits for those mediums. Pinky just missing out on DRS, 1.2 seconds away from JM. So just about, yeah, not having the DRS advantage. And Official might try and think about a move, but meanwhile at the front, Sully dummies the inside, goes outside and onto the grass. Why would he go to the outside? Yeah, of course, and then he doesn't complete the move. Pocho left the inside open, Sully dummied the inside and then switched back to the outside, even though Pocho didn't react to the dummy. And yeah, interesting, but now Sully on the main straight does just go for a normal move, no dummies this time, doesn't drive into the grass on his own, and goes past the Mercedes. Pocho has a little look up the inside, thought about it, but that would have been a very, very risky move. So in the end, smart of him not to commit to that. Sully into the lead on lap 9. But I'm very confident that Pocho is going to try and fight back. Although, actually JM up the inside of Pocho down into turn 6. And the Alpine driver on the inside line. Does he have the better exit? They're still side by side down to second 2. And Sully's loving this. He's building a gap right now. I have to lift now through this corner, which is normally flat. JM almost losing the car. Does get it corrected. But Pocho does now hang on to P2. Official 1.3 seconds behind, doesn't quite get into DRS once again. It's just every single lap it seems like the chasing pack is just about missing out on the DRS to the top 3. Now as we go back onto the long straight, Pocho is 6 tenths behind Sully, so Sully should be safe on this lap at least. JM pretty far behind Pocho as well. What about the ones behind? Pinky 6 tenths behind Official. Gabri pretty low on ERS, probably not able to make a move on Pinky either. Yeah, no moves happening on this straight for now. Unless Edwin has a go at Sean Moore. Edwin though low on fuel. You can see the yellow fuel light popping up on the telemetry at the bottom of the screen. So he's gonna have to try and save as much fuel as he can as Ewek goes for the move on Elias. Kevin into the pits. An early pit stop for the Ferrari. And Edwin in as well. Both Edwin and Kevin coming at the pits on lap 10 as Pocho and Sully are side by side through the first sector of the lap here. Sully does come out ahead of Pocho. Both Edwin actually onto soft tires, Kevin onto the hard, so Edwin I'm assuming is doing a 2-stop. 18 laps on softs is a massive stretch, so yeah, there should be a 2-stop strategy for Edwin. Kevin though is going to the end, he's pit very, very early. So a big undercut for the Ferrari driver. Will hopefully catapult him into the lead, but then will he be able to hang on to it. Contact between Ika and Ewek. And Elias comes on ahead of the Williams. We are back on the front runners. It's been another lap, we are back on a long straight, where it all happens. All the action happens on this straight. Pocho is just about in DRS into Sully. He doesn't quite seem to have the pace to stick with him through the middle sector. And if anything, he has to look behind at JM more so than he has to look in front at Sully. Is anyone going to cover off Kevin's undercut, or are they going to let it happen? JM had a little look as Marcelio got past Ewek, I believe, for P10. Chasing pack, no moves happening here. And no one here is covering the undercut of Kevin. Is anyone doing it here? Nope, they are all staying out. There we go, Sean Moore is into the pit. Someone is reacted. Marcelio goes wide into the hairpin and Ewek slips back through into P10. I think Sean Moore was behind Kevin before the pit stop already. But Sean Moore and Kevin, the two leading drivers in the championship right now, have made their pit stops very early. Kevin is going to come out in front of the Williams, of course. Sean Moore coming out close to Edwin, just behind the Red Bull. And actually side by side with Desi out of the pit lane. Oh my god, that was very close it seemed. Desi just about going around the outside of Sean Moore instead of straight into him. Yellow flags up ahead from Marcelio, who has a spin and yes, wing damage after turn 4. Can see the front left end plate of the Red Bull missing. So he's gonna have to hit this lap, get that change, and then go to the end. Hopefully 17 laps on medium should be possible, but it won't be very comfortable towards the end of the race. He's gonna have to hope for some sort of safety car to salvage that mistake. His teammate Edwin moving past him as well now. Probably team orders actually. Would make sense that the car moving damage lets his teammate through. And Pocho turned off his DRS halfway down the straight, so it seems he wants to stay behind Sully. Doesn't want to go for the move. He's already thinking about the last lap, about those DRS games, thinking tactically at this point. And Sully goes into the pits. Sully with an early pit stop compared to Pocho and JM. They're both still staying out. And now it gets into string. As we have yellow flags for Marcelio. Where is Sully going to come out in comparison to Kevin, to Sean Moole, to Edwin? Those are the three that have already made their pit stops. Is he going to be jumped by them? He pitted from the lead. And onto hard compound tires for the Haas driver. Is he still going to be in the lead, on the effective lead after he comes out the pits? He's out of the pits now, and there's Kevin. It's going to be close, but I think Sully has just about held on to the lead in comparison to Kevin, and he now has a 2-lap tire advantage, although he's stuck behind the Williams of EWEC. But Kevin has catapulted his way into the fight for the lead here. And now we'll have to wait and see if he can hang on to it. He will have worse tires throughout the rest of the Grand Prix. Sully's hards, once they're worn up, will be a significant amount faster, I think. And even more so, BS Gabri's mediums don't count him out for this race one yet, even though he's down in P5 right now. And will probably turn into a, behind Kevin and Sully, so make that P7 after the pit stop. Sully gets past EWEC now. And Kevin, very opportunistic, sends it up the inside at the second pass of the double left. And goes past EWEC as well. As JM, I think, was about to take the lead there. Pinky, I think, about to take P3 as well, but they both seem to have backed out of the move. So, are they now going to react to Sully's pit stop? Pocho is in, JM is staying out. Official is in, Pinky staying out. Gabriel, of course, staying out. Official goes a bit deep. The same mistake that Lewis Hamilton made in 2007. Thankfully for him, the gravel tire is long gone. Yellow flags in turn 13 for Desi, but he's gotten going again. No safety car deployed here. Where's Pocho gonna come out? Where's Sully? Sully did lose a lot of time behind EWEC, so Pocho might be safe in the car. I think Pocho might even come out in front of Sully. Gonna be close. There's Pocho on the right hand side. Sully does come out ahead, but not far. The undercut does not work for Sully. Pocho is still in the DRS range, and now is a 1-lap tire advantage. Sully lost too much time being stuck behind the Williams of EWEC. Sully, Pocho came out in front of Kevin, so Kevin now up into effective 3rd place. Especially yellow flags for EWEC coming out of turn 4. But he wasn't pointing the wrong way or anything. It was only a minor spin, it seemed like, a half spin. Pocho is gonna have to try and hang on to the DRS of Sully, that would be crucial. 9/10 right now. His tires will still be slightly cold. Can he hang on to the DRS? That AlphaTauri is really helping right now. Sully gets caught up behind it, makes contact, but now gets past him. 12 lap old mediums on that AlphaTauri of Ilias. He's going to be significantly slower than the cars around him right now. And yellow flags for Official, who's DNF'd! And the safety car's been called out! Official spinning, coming out of turn 10. That's the end of his debut race. He was doing pretty well up until now in the fight for the podium. And this safety car is an absolute dream for JM, for Pinky. Gabri, I mean, he's on the hard tires. He has to pit for mediums, but it should still be fine. But these three are, well, especially JM and Pinky and Gabri to an extent as well, absolute heaven right now for them. Anyone who hasn't pitted, in fact. Elias, well, EWEC, he's down in P9, so he's probably going to come out in last place anyway, but especially for these three. They should now come out in the in 1, 2, and 3. They're going to jump the ones who had already made their pit stops. Or are they? Going to be close between Gabri and Sully. No, Sully's up into P2. Pocho up into P3. Pinky coming out in P4, Gabri in P5. But a lot of drivers behind are making another pit stop. From P6 and down, everyone's gonna have new tires, it seems. I think it will be Edwin coming out in P6. Or will it be Elias? It's Elias! Just about coming out of the Red Bull. Edwin in 7th, Kevin in 8th. EWEC in the pits as well. Will come out in 9th. Sean Moore behind him, double stack for Williams. 3-second time penalty for Marco Kutschow coming out in 10th, Sean Moore 11th. Marco must have gotten a track limit penalty in the pit lane. So that might be removable. Have to wait and see if he sends it in, what the stewards say about it. Otherwise coming out in P13 as Desi stays out. And comes out in 12th. Marco the 14th, Marcelio. I think they're having a penalty? He's gonna come out in 15th. Mihai just about avoiding being lapped, so if he can now get back into the lobby, he will be back in the fight. I'm gonna send Mihai another invite in case he wants to join. And if he does, he will be right at the back of the safety car. And has all the possibility once again to score some points in this race. Well, yeah, JM now in the lead of the race, thanks to that safety car. He would have been jumped for sure by Sully, Pocho, probably Kevin as well. Kevin using that safety car though to pit for fresh mediums. 14 laps to go at the moment, and honestly I think mediums might be the tire to be on, because the safety car will take a few laps. They can drive around slowly, be careful with the tires and not create much wear. So Gabri, Kevin, Kucho, Sean Moore, Owais, Marco, Marcelino, Mihai might be in a very good position here. We do have 2 drivers right now with time penalties. And those are Elias and Marco, both having 3 seconds. Can also have a quick look, might as well, at the position trade. I was gonna look at them after the start, but yeah, it was too hectic. Right now, the most places gained is Elias, who has gained 7 places, up into P6. Ewing has gained 6 places as well, up into P9. Desi has gained 5 after starting in 17th. And of course, the biggest position loss is official, the DNF. He's lost 13, but the biggest loss still actually in the race is Marco, having lost 7 places. Started in 7th, now 14th. He's been having yeah, a nightmare of a race so far. But the safety car has opened up all the opportunities once again. Does have quite a few cars to work through, but points very much on the cards once again for the Mercedes driver. And his teammate Pocho in the meantime, he's running in 3rd place in the fight for the podium, for the race win. Was swapping the lead between himself, JM and Sully multiple times for the safety car. Will probably come in this lap or next lap. Sechka of course also helping the ones who were low on fuel. Marcelio, I think Edwin was low on fuel as well. Is he still? He isn't low on fuel anymore, he's safe enough now, he's back in the positive. Marcelio's caught up, I think the safety car is gonna wait for the AI of Mihai. Who, well, I can only assume he doesn't plan on joining back at this point. Or he's not able to, either way. So yeah, we'll have a another lap on the safety car. And I'll be back underway at the end of lap 16. A 12 lap sprint race it is effectively to the end of the race. No more pit stops. Pure, good old fashioned racing. What we're all here to see. Of course, the main favorite for the race win now is JM. He's in the race lead. But honestly, I could see everyone who's in the top 5 winning. JM, Sully and Pocho at great pace. They were running away from the field in the first stint. Pinky, probably the lowest chance out of the top 5. But he wasn't far off the guys, he was just hovering outside the DRS range. So if he can pick up the pace a little bit, if he can work his way through those past those guys, he is very much in contention as well right now. And Gabri, he's running sitting in P5, but he does have a tire advantage. He has mediums compared to hards, so he will be slightly faster at the moment. But then over the course of the stint, the pace will slowly be faster and faster for the hards in comparison to the mediums. So we'll have to see if that's advantage for Gabri holds on to the end, if he can fight his way up into the lead. And then I think after that, the time penalty for Elias ruins his chances really. And everyone else behind, well, I think they simply have too many cars between them and the leaders. But yeah, I think Gabi, Pinky, Pocho, Sully and JM are all within the realistic chance of winning this race. And that is absolutely lovely to see. Such a close fight, 5-way fight for the race win. Hopefully brewing up here. And hopefully I haven't jinxed it. But yeah, everyone is caught up now. The safety car should be coming in. I see no reason to wait any longer. And then we can have some more exciting racing. Safety car in this lap. There we go. We are ready for this Chinese Grand Prix to go into the final stages. Who can take home the race win here? Edwin and Elias are swapping places. Hopefully the game doesn't get, well, 5-second penalty for Ewax. Severe collision with Kevin. Did seem to get caught up in that. So, but that can hopefully be removed by the stewards. JM swerving, warming up those tires, making sure he's ready for the race start, and everyone else behind following suit as well, of course. Getting those fronts warm. Very important to have the temperature in those tires, especially the hards are really struggling to get warm. Sometimes the dragging the brake isn't quite enough to get the tires warm, especially at a long straight like this. A lot of time spent without cornering does cool down the tires quite a bit. Safety car's back in the pit lane now. JM could go at any moment. And I think he's deciding to go. I think he's going, yes. Out of the hairpin. A very good restart. Look at that! What a gap to Sully. Amazing restart from JM. Sully has been caught completely off guard. And JM is absolutely flying away in the front. 1.2 seconds. And now Sully's gonna have to push like hell to get back into the ES range. While also keeping an eye on the cars behind. Pocho following closely. Pinky not far behind. Gabi is a pretty bad restart though. He's pretty far behind. Edwin moving around the outside of Elias through turns 1 and 2 into 3 and 4. He now has the inside line. And there we got Red Bull moving up into 6th place. And then Kevin, can he follow suit? Use those medium tires to get past the AlphaTauri. He's using a title line through turn 5. But he's just too far behind to go for the move under braking. Back to the leaders. Sully 1.5 behind JM. JM is doing absolutely the perfect thing right now. He's creating the gap and he's driving away. And Sully sees that gap opening up. And the same, of course, goes to every single one of the drivers behind. They see JM pulling away. And they're thinking, well, if I want this race win, I need to get past Sully. And there we go. Pocho up the inside of the Haas driver. Gets the move done. Up into 2nd place. But he's now vulnerable to Sully's slipstream advantage. Down the back straight. Can Sully fight back for P2? Pocho with a much better exit though, 5/10 ahead already. Did get a bit bottom out over that curb. But I think Pocho has secured P2 for now at least. Sully's closing in. Defends the inside against Kucho, and there comes Gabi as well. A 3-way fight until it happen. Sully on the inside, Pinky on the outside, Gabi somewhat in there trying to find a gap to fully commit to, but he just can't. And now Sully hangs on to P3 for now at least. Kevin finally getting past Elias for 7th. And look at that, Elias squeezing Kucho all the way to the grass. Or almost onto the grass, I should say. Kucho able to stay on the tarmac. And now the gap is opened up. 2 seconds between Pocho and JM, 1 second between Pocho and Sully as Gabi tries to move around yet enough Pinky here. Now the switchback out of turn 4 maybe? Does he have the grip? Does he have tires? Doesn't seem to. He's been burning a lot of ES. We just can't find those gaps. Ewax is out of the race. And another safety car. Just as Gabi goes for the move on Pinky, but he of course cannot complete it now. The safety car coming out. Desi and Ewax are both out of the race. Marco is standing here as well. It's never been a 3-way crash between Desi, Ewax and Marco. No idea what happened there. But that's 2 cars out of the race. Marco lightning of damage as well. And another safety car. And that, well, if you're JM right now, you must be so annoyed. You had such an amazing restart, you built the gap, you got 2 seconds clear of anyone else. And now Pocho can close right back up to the Alpine. Gonna be interesting to see if anyone pits though. I think we are in range for softs. But they would then drop off a bit towards the end. Interesting what strategy. I would have no idea, to be honest, what to do now. Pit, don't pit. Especially if you're JM, And if you pit and nobody else does on your last, you're gonna be kicking yourself. But if you are the only one not to pit, you're also gonna be kicking yourself because they're all gonna fly past you. Especially if you're the leader right now, it's a very difficult situation to be in. You'd rather be further towards the back so you can copy everyone else. JM is pitting. What about Pocho? He's following JM. So is Sully. So is Pinky. So is Gabri. So is Edwin. Kucho staying out. Kevin is staying out. Elias staying out. Shamul in. Owise in. Marcelio in. Sully gets a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. Marco in. So Sully with a 5-second penalty now. That's going to really affect this fight and race win. And it is indeed soft class for most. Pinky on mediums. Sully on mediums. JM on mediums as well. Pocho on softs. Okay, mostly mediums. So it seems like most don't actually have... Oh well, it's about a 50-50 split maybe? Oh, sorry. I had to sneeze, and then I tried to sneeze, and I didn't have to sneeze anymore. Pocho getting past the air of Mihai. I'm not sure if that was legal. Yeah, he's gonna have to give that back. So Pocho's gonna be stuck behind the AI on the restart. It's gonna be slowing him down. And that will allow JM to create a bit of a gap to the Mercedes driver. Yeah, Pocho, you can't pass it. It's silly, but you can't. The game considers the AI to be racing. It is very annoying that yeah, AI cars can get in the way like that on safety car restarts. But there's not much we can do about it now. Mihai is either not able or not willing to rejoin. And yeah, his car is going to be in the middle of that train and probably creating a bit of a gap between the top 4 and the rest of the field. But Kucho now, he stayed out. He's got a slight tire disadvantage, but he does have track position now thanks to it. Kevin did the same, he's right behind him. Elias also staying out. JM's the first one on fresh tires. Mihai stayed out as well, he's on the 6 level mediums. And then for P6 and downwards, everyone on fresh tires. So we'll see if Elias, Kevin and Kucho can hang on to those positions. Safety car probably coming in end of next lap. So from lap 20 onwards we'll be under green flag, or end of lap 20 will be under green flag conditions. And then hopefully to the end. 14 rounds left in the race. The fight for points is very much on here. As we crawl around the final corner, hopefully this is the final safety car. We want to see racing, we want to see action, battles, fights for points, for podiums, for race wins. That is what we're all here to see. Yeah, right now Kevin in a good position, scoring 18 points and would be taking the championship lead of Sean Moore, who currently is scoring 0 points down in P11. So he's gonna have to hope that he can move up some positions, salvage some points in this race. Especially if his title rival is so far up the field. JM in 3rd place in the standings right now, sitting in 4th. First of the ones on fresh tires. Good chance that he can win this race. So this could be a very important race in the championship, especially if Sean Moore doesn't manage to get past a significant amount of drivers throughout the rest of this race. It's the halfway point in the season. So not all that much time left to go. It's only a 12 race season. We're on race 6. You don't really dropping points. You can't allow yourself really many off weeks. There simply isn't enough races to make up for bad races as there would be in a well, how many races in Formula 1 nowadays? 23, 24? I think it's 23. Yeah, like if you have a 23 race season and you have 1 DNF, well, that's fine. But if you have a 12 race season and you have 1 DNF, that is a lot more crucial. It's a lot less races to make up for it. Safety car in this lap. And now Kucho gets control of the field. He can decide the pace. He's got Kevin right behind him. And they're gonna be hoping that JM gets stuck behind Elias for as long as possible. Elias' 3-second time penalty doesn't mean he's not really much of a danger for the race win. He just has to hope to hang on to as many places as possible. Goes in the back of Kevin and gets wing damage. Gets a 5-second penalty as well. And that is going to make it significantly easier for JM, for Pocho, for all of those guys behind to get past him. Wing damage on the front right end plate for Elias. But at the same time, it also means that JM has to get past him earlier, because he's going to be losing a lot more time if he's stuck behind him for any amount of time. Safety car now back in the pit lane. Kutsho's gone quite slowly across this back straight. When is he going to restart the race? When is he going to go? He's not gone quite yet off the hairpin. He's still warming up those tires in McLaren. Now he's accelerating. And he's not really caught Kevin off guard. Kevin is pretty close behind. But Elias is massively behind. Mihai already being passed, but they're not allowed to pass him yet. I think they're going to get penalties. Yep, they are going to get penalties, I'm pretty sure. They were slowing down, but the AI just too slow. JM on the inside of Elias into turn 1. And gets past him. There's so much movement going on in the background. As we see Pinky going to the side of BSKB, gets wing damage. Bouncing over that curb, and that's Pinky's chances for a race win over tonight. Solely on the back of EKA. Pocho's dropped down to 14th. Pocho with a spin. That's Pocho's hopes for a race win over as well. Heartbreak at Mercedes. 13th and 14th. Was looking so good in qualifying, but it's all over for the Mercedes crew tonight. As Sully now moves past EKA up into 4th position, but JM is 2.2 seconds away. BSKB trying to get past the AlphaTauri as well, round the outside there. Is EKA going to give him the space? Of course he isn't. And there we go, Edwin and Sean Moore slipping through, Gabby risking it all. And he paid the price. Now trying to go around the outside of Sean Moore. Is he going to send it up the inside into there? Yes he is, and Sean Moore leaves him the space. Very nice battling down towards the long straight, but Sean Moore does have to run on the Ferrari on this beautiful helicopter view. EKA is still trying to defend as much as possible. Weaving down the straight a bit there, a bit naughty, but now there we go, EKA losing out to Edwin. Gabi sending it on the brakes to Sean Moore. Meanwhile at the front, JM chasing after, but he goes a bit wide for the final corner. Kutsho the fastest in the race, Kutsho, and then JM immediately beating it. As Sean Moore gets past Elias for 6th. Gabri now also trying to get past the AlphaTauri, burning all of his overtake. He's gonna go for it up the inside of turn 1, the wing damage on the AlphaTauri, sending him out wide, and that's a Ferrari, clean through. And always the next one up behind. Marco now trying to salvage some points from Mercedes at least. Just battling over P9 here with the Aston Martin. And does come out ahead. Pocho now retiring in the pit lane, I believe. Pinky with a wing train, so you can probably salvage a fastest lap, at least something like that. 1 point. Better than no points after a disappointment late in the race here. Gabi on the back of Sean Moore, still he's been sending it multiple times, but he just hasn't quite found a way past the Williams. So they are coming up to the back of Edwin as well, Edwin on the mediums. He's going to be slower for now, but the tire advantage should swing in Edwin's favor throughout the rest of the race. Which isn't all that long anymore. JM is not closing the gap to Kutsho and Kevin nearly as much as he needs. It's still 8/10 between him and Kevin. 5 laps fresh on tires, but of course most of those 5 laps were under the safety car. So maybe Kevin's and Kutsho's tires just aren't that worn. Maybe that's why they even didn't leave in pit. And if we look at the front, JM still 5/10 back. Not able to get close enough. He is now somewhat close to Kevin, who's burned a good amount of ERS. Sully 2.1 seconds behind. Is he gonna be able to close that gap? He does have a 5-second penalty as well, so he's gonna lose some places with that, I believe. So speeding penalty also, so unlikely to be removed. Those don't tend to have glitches as far as I know, but you never know. With the Formula 1 game, any kind of penalty can be a glitch, from my experience. After a few years in this game, there's just nothing you wouldn't believe if Thomas, like, honestly, someone could tell me that literally anything on this game is glitched, and I would believe it, because there's just so many silly glitches on this Formula 1 game. But it's yeah, it's all part of the experience, I would say, of a Codemasters Formula 1 game. JM is now pretty close behind Kevin, almost as if I like reverse commentator's cursed him by saying he couldn't close the gap. He's now closed the gap. He sees Kevin's red light flashing, he knows Kevin is low on ERS, and he knows he's vulnerable. So now trying to go for a better exit here. Down onto the long straight. He's gonna get the run on him. The Alpine driver in the fight for the race win here. DRS open now as Edwin picks up a 3-second time penalty. That will be crucial in the fight for P4 against Sully. And there we go, Kevin stuck behind Kucho, and JM gets them both almost. Doesn't quite go for the move on Kucho. Kevin now trying to hang around the outside. JM on the exit with the tire advantage, just get past the Ferrari. And Kevin has settled for third. And now Kucho has got JM all over the back of him for these final 5 laps of the Grand Prix. Is JM gonna be able to find a gap? Go for it, create a gap. You can see now Kucho with the red flashing light as well. He's below 10% ERS at the end of that straight. And JM will have seen that, and JM will know now that he can very much just fly right past Kucho and then hopefully hang on to the position for the rest of the race, as Sully has now joined this little group. He is in the ERS range to Kevin for that 5-second penalty. That 5-second penalty is going to ruin his chance at a race win. Can he still salvage a P4, maybe a podium? Who knows what is still possible for Sully in this race. He does need to create a gap to these guys behind, to Sean Moole, to Edwin, to Gabri, if he wants to hang on to that 4th place at least. Sean Moole doing a very solid job here as well. I talked about him being in P11 on the restart. Well, now he's P5. That's 10 points for him, and maybe P4 on the cards with that penalty for Sully. It'd be 12 points. And also be very crucial points for the championship fight. Defending champion, of course, having won last season. And the title finale in Abu Dhabi. And there we go, Sully now with a move on Kevin, and at the same time JM flying right past the McLaren of Kucho. Moves for P3 and P1 happening at once. As always, flies past Marco down to the hairpin, taking P8 in this Grand Prix. Edwin following closely behind Sean Moole. Can he go for a move into turn 1, maybe? He doesn't have much ERS, but he left the run on him anyway. Sean Moole flashing as well, but Edwin doesn't quite have the run on the Williams. Has to wait maybe later in the lap, maybe later in the race. There's no the main laps to go though. Another 3-second time penalty for Elias. It's the second one in this Grand Prix, I believe. Now 6 seconds of penalties. Sully trying to get into DRS into Kucho, and JM up ahead. Kucho doing his best to stay with JM. I think once JM has a 1-second gap, he should be in the clear, and he should be able to then run away with this Grand Prix. And I think he has, yes, now there we go, he's a 1-second gap to Kucho. And that might be it. That might be the deciding factor in this Grand Prix. Once he's out of the ERS, it is much easier to stay out of the ERS than it is to the defend the position. And with JM's tire advantage, it will be very much a difficult task for Kucho to get back into the ERS range. If anything, Sully has more of a chance of catching back up. But then Sully with the 5-second penalty, I am quite confident that he cannot win this race anymore. He just has to create as much of a gap as possible to the cars behind, hang on to as many places as possible with that 5-second penalty. As Edwin goes for a move on Sean Moole for 5th place onto the hairpin. And there we go, on the exit, better traction for the Red Bull. Although Sean Moole is fighting back into the final corner. They are side by side through there, but Edwin moves around the outside. Now Gabi's been invited into the fight. As Sully goes past Kucho for 2nd place. But we've got a 3-way fight for 5th position here. Sean Moole to the outside line. And contact made! Sean Moole is round! Gabi just about slipped through. Sean Moole is caught it. What a save by Sean Moole! How has he caught that car? Pointing in the right direction again, I have no idea. But he has still lost the place to Gabri. Gabri now up to 6th, and I will be 5th after Edwin's penalty is applied. And this fight for P5 is very much heated between those guys, it seems. Edwin and Sean move places multiple times, and in the end they make contact. Gabi has picked up the pieces from it and moved up past Sean Moole. And all 3 of these guys are very low on ERS as well. No one here is saving anything. And Gabi should now be able to go past Edwin on the straight with the DRS. He's very close behind. And considering there's no ERS run for anyone, they are all very much low on ERS. Edwin is not going to have a chance to defend it. Into the slipstream we go. And out of the slipstream we go. DRS open. The Ferrari will fly past the Red Bull. Although Edwin is trying his best to defend it. Gabi actually not able that much faster on the straight line. And Edwin on the inside line does stay ahead. But now on the exit, Gabri with a beautiful exit. And does take P5. But now Edwin with the ES on this main straight. He can fight back. Claim that P5 was in before, but they are losing so much time to the cars ahead. Edwin does move up back into P5. And now Gabri has a little look up the inside. Is he gonna send it? Yes! Wow! Very respectful driving from Edwin though to leave him that space. What an aggressive send by Gabri. He's pulled it off, he's up into P5. Edwin dropping down to 6th. And Ova is closing in from behind. Not great news for Edwin. He is defending this hard, but in the process he's losing time. And that 6-second time penalty that he has... Sorry, 3-second time penalty that he has. So he has 10 seconds? What? I thought Sully had 5. When did Sully get 10? Yeah, okay, what? 21 and 18. Let's check that. 21 Sully ignoring yellow flag. Oh, he must have passed Mihai on the restart. Oh, Sully now with 10 seconds worth of time penalties. That's gonna drop him down quite some way in this Grand Prix. Second to last lap of the race. As we see Shormul closing in on Edwin, but a bit too far behind starting the straight. Always has now finally joined the fight as we go into the final lap. Can he make up some places here at the last possible opportunity? Gabri, Edwin, Shormul, always fighting over 5th. 10, 8, 6 and 4 points on offer here in this fight. You would think Edwin's gonna pick up the 4 points with his time penalty, but everything else still up for grabs. Nothing else happening on track right now, it's only this battle. Nobody else in the... Well, there is Kutscher who is somewhat close to Sully, but with Sully's time penalty that fight is kind of become irrelevant. Gabi has got a pretty good gap to Edwin. He should be safe in 5th. What about Shormul and Always? Always does have a bit more EIS, so maybe he can try and make something happen down to the hairpin on that long straight. Well, he has about a 10% EIS advantage, a bit less than 10% for Always. If he gets a good exit, it might be possible for him to get that position down to the hairpin. And here we go. It's time for a good exit. Always terrible exit. He's gone deep, and the gap is widened a lot there. And that might be it. Shormul is now safe in 7th, I'm pretty sure. But this man right here, JM, has done an awesome job today. And he's gonna pick up the race win. He was in the fight early on. Sully, Pocho on him, running away from the field and the safety car, pitted for mediums, fought his way back through, and built a gap in the end, winning the race here in China. Sully crossed the line in 2nd place, but 10 seconds of post-race penalties brought Kucho to 2nd, Kevin into 3rd, Gabri into 4th, and then Sully dropping down to 7th as Shormul goes 5th, Always 6th, Sully 7th, Edwin 8th. Marco in 9th, picking up 2 points from Mercedes in the end. Not a great race from them in the slightest. Marcelio coming home in 10th, 1 point for him. Who had the fastest lap? Pinky. So we also get 1 point, finishing in P11. As Sully has left the session, that's desynced him. Okay, we're gonna have to get that fixed in the race results. Sully leaving has dropped him down to P, I don't know, 11, 12. So yeah, the results screen is now gonna be slightly wrong. Drive of the day for Kucho, who finished in 2nd place. Very impressive race from him. I think he was quite far down in qualifying, so I can see why the game gave it to him. But here we are on the podium. JM, the man of the hour, with the raceman tonight in Shanghai. A great race from him, joined in the podium by Kucho and Gabri. Sorry, no, Kevin. Was it Kevin or Gabri? Oh god, I'm sorry. Which Ferrari was on the podium? I can't see the flag either right now, it's not showing up. I guess we'll see in a moment in the race results. Sorry about that. But yeah, a great race to watch, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think the drivers will have enjoyed it as well. It was Kevin ahead of Gabri. yeah, the full race results. Sully would be in P... Yeah, right here behind Owai, so he'd be 7th, and then from 7th down, everyone will be one position further down than they're being shown here. But yeah, a very enjoyable Grand Prix here in China. And once again, Division 2 has delivered a good race. Halfway point in the season. And I think, has JM taken the championship lead right now? I'm gonna check my notes. He was 13 behind. And he's gained 15 on Sean Moore. He has overtaken Sean Moore, but Kevin, he has only gained 10 points on. Yes, JM is now in the championship lead by 1 point over Kevin. So, yeah, the title fight heating up. JM, Kevin, and Sean Moore, the main contenders. Kucho is close to gap as well, so he is very much in the fight also. And I think we are in for an awesome second half of the season, with those 4 battling for the title, and maybe someone else can join that fight as well. There is not all that many points in it for the rest of the grid as well. We'll see you next week for the Austrian Grand Prix in Division 2. As well, this Saturday coming up, the Singapore Grand Prix in the Esports Division at 3 PM UK time, and then at 6:30 PM UK time, the Austrian Grand Prix in Division 1. Hopefully those races should all be streamed. Hopefully you'll be tuning in for those. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Hope you have a nice evening, and goodbye.